I'm digging the new music.
You dig it?
I am.
Yeah. It's the new music. Yeah, we had a little bit of a copyright issue with the other one. They kept.
Oh man, that
Oh
sounds
yeah.
well.
I was checking up. I was going down the list and I was looking at all our videos, checking the views out on YouTube. It said copyright. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, so
Yeah,
they
you gotta
start
be careful,
they start
man.
kind of yeah they start kind of downplaying you when you start copyrighting stuff.
Hey man, first of all, before we start, I just want to say blessings to you, brother. Thank you so much for still continuing this. This is still going on. This is episode 8.
9, baby.
Episode 9. Episode 9.
Oh,
This is still going on, and it's been
yeah.
a blessing. I am happy for all the guests that we had on the show. You're making it happen, man. So
Making
I
it
really
happen.
appreciate you for doing this, man.
Hey, thanks for coming back, man. I miss you. I had to go to episode 7. That was the key. I wanted to make episode 7. I kind of did it. I think me and Canteen put it on, but you came back episode 8, so I was glad to have you back. It's not the same. The Les Flow show is not the same without Les, and it's not the same without Flow. That's why it's a Les Flow show.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, it can't be Les Flow without either one of us, man. But I appreciate you. Yeah, like I said, I had to change that theme song because this one's free, so the other one we're getting copyright stuff on it. So
Yeah, everybody wants their money for the things that they do.
I mean, we got like 9 subscribers, man. Why y'all messing with me?
It's gonna keep going. Keep going.
All right. How's your week, man?
It's been amazing, man. It's been a very busy week.
Yeah.
And it's very, very productive.
Yeah.
And just ready for this week. It's gonna be a short week in case, of course, because of July 4th. It's
Right.
July 4th weekend coming up. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm ready to spend some time with my family, get my America on.
All right. I like the stars there. They got the stars on the head.
It's all about America, baby. America.
Yeah,
So,
I like it. Hey, you know that I was telling you about those colored patches, right? There's actually the Alcarat. That's for everybody. That's for across the Army.
The color patches? Okay.
Yeah. I think it's mainly for ceremonies, but I think some people are doing them on Fridays. But it depends on your post. But the colored patches are any ceremony in your OCPs. It's an Alcarat that came out, so you probably just ain't seen it yet. Yeah.
Nope, haven't seen
right.
it over this side. I'm in Fort
Yeah.
Belmont,
Welcome to Les Flow Sports Show. I'm Flo. That's my brother Les. We're here showing out. This is episode 9, like we were talking about. I was trying to see. Let me see here. There we go. So you can see. There we go. Les Flow. Yeah, I was trying to do. We're doing episode 9. We got 9 subscribers on YouTube. We got 81 that joined the Facebook group. So like, share, subscribe. Put us out there. We're trying to do our thing here. Les Flow Sports Show. Doing our thing. Good weekend. Good week for basketball. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Some playoffs going on. Do you watch golf or tennis or anything?
I have not. I watch them, but I haven't watched them in a while.
Yeah, I watch a little bit. I used to watch it when I was younger because, like when basketball season ends, there's really nothing until football, especially back in the day. And we didn't have cable, so it was like it was either tennis or golf. So I started getting into a little tennis and golf way back when, but I don't watch it as much as I used to. But
we're
it's
kind
coming
of
up
lucky right now with everything going on. So
yeah, because we're going a little late into the season for the playoffs.
Yeah, and then football start back up in September.
Yeah,
August really. So
August really. Yep. Yeah. It sounds like Aaron Rodgers missed some little mini camp. He's losing some money now.
I think he's done.
You think he's done?
I think he's gonna retire. He don't want to play.
Retire? You don't think he'll get traded or something?
Nope.
No? You're not gonna do that?
They're gonna definitely do him like Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders.
Oh, okay.
Calvin Johnson wanted to leave. He said, "You don't want to leave? Okay, I'm just gonna retire." He's gonna retire.
Okay, you might be right because at first I thought you said that the first time I was like, retire? You're crazy. But maybe you're right. Maybe he is gonna retire.
What else he got to prove, man?
I know, but they're gonna say, oh, he only got to 1 Super Bowl. They're gonna talk about him like that. But
still, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game.
Right.
Mr. Clutch. I'm just saying.
Yeah. It depends on his goals. If he really wants another Super Bowl, he'll come back. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. He's missing.
What do quarterbacks really play for? They play to get a ring, MVP, and Hall of Fame. That's really about it.
Right.
Every player, right? So
yeah, I mean, yeah, it depends on your goals, you know. So the Dallas Mavericks hired Jason Kidd. What do you think about it? Is it a good hire, bad hire?
extremely great hire.
You think so?
Jason Kidd had, well, I believe 1 or 2 seasons with Milwaukee.
I think he had 4. He had 1 with Brooklyn and like 4 with Milwaukee.
As a head coach.
Yeah, he started coaching back in 2013. He was, and then his last season was 2017. But he had 183 wins, 190 losses. He didn't have a great record. It's kind of 50.
I mean, yeah, 50%. But he was in the East, and you talking about I believe he had a young Giannis at the time.
Right.
So I like this for him to be at a team that he won the championship for in 2011 against the Heat.
Right.
And so I think this is a great hire for him to get out there. Plus, we talk about all the time that we need more minorities as coaches, black coaches. And this is great. I mean, especially I wish the football world would join one day. But this is great to have another minority black coach out there. And being in the West, in the Mavericks, I think he's awesome.
Yeah. Well, he's got a great young star there, and so
that's another thing. Point guard to point guard. So
yeah, he's got a great young star there. So I know Shannon Sharp loves him. He calls him Baby Bird and stuff, but
he calls him Baby Bird.
Baby Bird, yeah. Shannon Sharp calls him Baby Bird, but Nick,
I ain't seen
Skip,
that now.
Yeah, Skip don't like that. He says, he goes, that is shameful that you would. Yeah, I know. But anyway, that's what Shannon Sharp called him. Yeah, Giannis loves the guy. Apparently, Giannis Antetokounmpo loves him when he was playing with the Bucks. Yeah, he says. Yeah, he really has a lot of good things to say about him.
How about Jason Kidd?
Yeah,
that's awesome. Jason Kidd is a great person outside of basketball.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's a good guy. He was a good player for the Mavericks too. He won. I think he won a championship with them or something, didn't he?
He won in 2011.
Or he went to the playoffs.
You talking about Jason Kidd?
Was he there with them at that time? I can't remember.
Well, he won a championship with them in 2011.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't look it up, so I don't know. I know they won a championship, but I didn't know if Jason Kidd was with them.
Jason Kidd he brings a lot to the table. That was the team that he was drafted for, if I'm not mistaken, years ago.
Oh yeah. I think that's the team that drafted
years.
Him. Yeah.
I mean, it fits him. He has that defensive mindset. He also has a great offensive mindset. Jason Kidd's probably underrated point guard that ever played the game, hands down Hall of Famer. And
he is the Hall of Fame. He's in the Hall of Fame in 2018.
Right. So he's definitely well worth it, man. So how you think about Chauncey Billups becoming the coach of Portland Blazers?
Did he?
Yes.
Oh wow! Is he still going to coach? Or who was he coaching with?
He's the head coach now of the Blazers.
But he was with who? He was assistant under who?
He was assistant coach, if I'm not mistaken, with I want to say Brooklyn some reason. Clippers.
That sounds right. That's not Clippers. Yeah, I know he was assistant. Yeah, he was assistant coach, and so they hired him on. Right? Portland. That's a good hire. Chauncey Billups is a good dude. That's gonna be a good hire. It may keep Dame there because Dame was talking about trying to get out of there. So that may keep Damian Lillard. Did you see that Instagram with Damian Lillard and LeBron?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Dame is gonna stay, but
he might stay with Chauncey there.
Billups coming. Where does Carmelo go? Because I don't know if Carmelo and Chauncey had the best relationship.
Right.
So Carmelo might.
They're talking about him going to the Lakers.
I heard of that too. So Carmelo and Dame can go. Look, bring them. This is LeBron's last few years. I would love to see Damian Lillard get a ring and go and actually show. And him and AD will be the franchise players of LA when LeBron retires. I think that's perfect. But I do think Chauncey Billups brings a lot to the table being the head coach. Mr. Big Shot himself, very clutch player with the Pistons. He has defense. So Portland always had the offense. Their defense has always been poor. So bringing defense to the table, Chauncey Billups has a defensive mindset because of the player he was. I think that's an extremely good pickup for them.
You think so? Yeah, I think so too. I agree. Hey, so now we come to the segment it's the new segment, I guess. We're kind of trying to we'll see how it goes through. We're trying to refine it. But the segment I call The Bottom Line. The Bottom Line. Yeah, the bottom line.
I like it.
All right.
I like it.
Here we go. It's going to be, we had this beef going on between Pippen and KD. You heard about that?
I have.
All
I
right.
paid a lot of attention to it.
Yeah. So Pippen and KD been going back and forth. Let's see. Pippen was. He said. They asked him about. Let's see. What did they say? Scottie Pippen that he needs to learn how to utilize his teams. He said something about that he's taking all the shots. That he's been playing the whole game, and you're physically wearing down. You're going to lose. He said that comparing him to LeBron, saying that LeBron's a far smarter player, and he wouldn't have attempted the shot that he did. That he ain't got to take that shot. That he's smarter than that. Pippen said that he's going to force the double team, and KD wasn't able to do that, and he was exhausted. He couldn't even go to the bucket. And then KD responded and said, "Didn't the great Scottie Pippen?" I think he's being a little, but he said, "Didn't the great Scottie Pippen refuse to go into the game in the last second shot because he had his feelings? He was in his feelings. His coach drew up a play for a better shooter." And then KD says the guy Scott. He just called him Scott. Dang. And he wanted to enjoy his summer, so he chose to rehab during the season. LOL, yo, at Scottie Pippen. They follow Phil, not you! Exclamation point. Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
What's going on there, man? What do you think with all that?
Oh man, where do I start? First of all, for Kevin Durant and Scottie Pippen beef, I understand the message that Scottie Pippen may have been trying to get a point or get across to KD. A couple things come to my mind. First of all, Scottie Pippen, you're a legend, you're a Hall of Famer, but you got to know that people are going to attack you and come back at you. Same thing with Kevin Durant. You got to have tough skin. Now, the message was clearly, I understood the message until the part he said LeBron was a smarter player than you. When you said that, then you got to expect the unexpected. First of all, it is right that Scottie Pippen sat out when Phil Jackson made a play for Tony Kukoc to make the game-winning shot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So please, miss KD with that, what you should have done and what LeBron would have done, because what would you done? You would have sat down. At least KD had the heart to try to make the last game-winning shot. I give number of respect to KD for that game. He played tremendous. There was nothing he could have done. His teammates weren't even playing. Joe Harris wasn't playing that well that day. James Harden was basically 60 to 50% of himself, and no other shooters were around him at the time that you really could rely on. A real leader would have took the last game-winning shot like Michael Jordan did in 1996 against the Utah Jazz. He hit the game-winning shot. So I'm saying legends are going to make their own. They're going to do what they need to do. It's in their head. I'm not saying LeBron is a smarter player than KD, but I am saying that KD did what KD was going to do because KD is a great, tremendous player. This is the only 7-footer you're ever going to see that play the way he plays.
Right. Yeah, I think you got some good points there. I think that I think what's missing a lot of times is that they're different players. KD's never been asked. He's never been asked to pass the ball, to become a facilitator. Where a lot of times that's LeBron's game. He's a facilitator. He loves to facilitate. He can score too, but LeBron loves to facilitate. He likes to have the ball in his hands.
Me and the Lakers.
I mean, if you ask LeBron to do what KD does, he's going to struggle too. LeBron's going to struggle because he can't go on there and just roam around and try and create shots and be a scorer like KD. KD's just got those natural skills. So they're just different players. I don't know. I think Scott, they're both a little bit in their feelings a little bit. Scottie Pippen, Hall of Famer, one of the top 50 players of all time. I mean, I think he was just taking a shot because because of LeBron. I think he's a LeBron fan. And, a lot of times, how they criticize LeBron when I think Kyrie was hurt and Kyrie was hurt and he lost in the finals. He wasn't able to pull that team through. But I don't know. He's just criticizing KD because I guess he's showing him, hey, how hard it was. See how hard it is. It's not easy to do that. So, but what do you think ultimately? What's the bottom line here?
The bottom line for these two gentlemen is to have thick skin, and also it comes when it comes to basketball. No matter who you are, you're going to be compared You know, KD has to understand I'm going to be compared the rest of my career. I'm
Right.
always going to be looked at as that I should have done this, that, and the third. But let's be honest. Real NBA players, who you taking? Scottie Pippen word over KD's word? I'm taking KD all day long over Scottie Pippen. He's a way better player than Scottie Pippen. That's just my opinion. I believe the man has more accolades. He won MVP. Scottie Pippen never won MVP. All right, I'm just saying. So in the league where, you know, Scottie Pippen can say what he want to say, but Kevin Durant is ultimately a better player than him. Sometimes it's okay not to say something out your mouth that you shouldn't say. So, you know.
Yeah.
But
all right.
KD has to have a tough skin. So
he definitely does. He definitely gets a tougher skin. All right. That was the bottom line with Les Flow Sports Show. One more quick hit, and we're going to go into the draft lottery. Should the 76ers get rid of Ben Simmons? What do you think?
Man, all due respect, man. Ben Simmons is some boo-boo, okay? But should they get rid of him? I mean, I think that I think he's a great player. I think that sometimes these players rely on just all athleticism. Like Blake Griffin, when he first came into the league, we saw him dunking and over cars, over Kia Hyundais and all that good stuff, man. And he saw eventually he couldn't do that forever. Michael Jordan was the same way until he broke his leg. You know you can't do this forever. So it's mind-blowing to me that these players don't actually take up the challenge and try to develop a great jump shot. Just a simple, Tim Duncan done it, right? Get you a little, let me get you a 10, 15, 17 footer.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So I believe that the 76ers shouldn't get rid of him. They say they're having a plan where they're going to develop him more. Bring in some great shooters, some coaches that will coach him up.
I agree with was it Broussard? He was talking about he needs to get in and get a sports psychologist because I think it's in his head now because there was a video the other day from a couple of years ago. He was like hitting jumpers and all kinds of stuff. I mean, he was backing people down in the gym. I was like, what is this the same dude? I mean, and then I think a couple of years ago, he was hitting 70% from the line. I mean, it's not like I think it's in his head now. I think it's more mental. He's got kind of the yips. You know, remember if you remember way back in the day, Nick Anderson, I think he missed like 4 free throws to lose a game way back when, and he was never the same guy. I think if he just gets in there and works out whatever mental issues he's got, you know, try and overcome those mental issues. Because I think he puts too much pressure on himself, and then instead of just going out there and playing your game like Trae Young, he just goes out there. He doesn't care if he misses 10 shots. He's going to shoot. He's going to play his game. Yeah. I think it's become a mental thing for him. If they can get him over that mental hump, I think they should definitely hang on to him.
Is this a Mark Fultz, revenge kind of curse going on? Because they did the same thing to him. He lost his shot. I don't know if you remember that. And then they traded him to Orlando Magic. So I don't know. It might be a 76ers curse. I don't know.
Who knows? I don't know. Yeah, because I mean, look at Embiid. He can't stay healthy. He's the best player. He would have won MVP this year probably if he'd have been able to play the whole season.
No, looking back at it, he should have won MVP. I didn't believe that Joker was going to get swept like that. But well, the Joker.
Remember, the Joker didn't have Jamal Murray, so he lost his Robin.
When you're MVP, you don't need anybody else.
Well, I don't know. KD did. You need somebody else because he lost too.
Just saying. I mean, Giannis didn't need nobody last year. So.
Hey, fun fact about KD. You know that he wears a size bigger than his normal size?
Why does he do it for
he said that he likes to play with it bigger. But if he'd have worn his actual shoe size, he would have made a 3-pointer that game in the end of the game.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he wears a whole shoe size bigger than his shoe. He said he likes it because it's comfortable and he likes to play like that. But if he'd have worn his actual shoe size, they would have won. Interesting.
Wow, that is.
Wow. All right, the draft lottery. Do you know what? Why they have the draft lottery? Why they started it?
I can take a stab at it. I mean,
I can just tell you.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, they initially started it because 1986 because teams were losing intentionally because the worst team would automatically get the number 1 pick, and so they were intentionally losing. So So they changed it so that way even if you intentionally used, you could only get the number 4 pick. You were guaranteed no lower than the number 4 pick. And then 2019 they changed it to number 5 pick. So now if you have the worst season, you won't go any lower than 5, but you can't automatically get the number 1 pick. So that's the reason they started it.
I don't like that. I mean, I think you should be able to tank your season if you see that you're not going to go nowhere.
I don't know. I can understand that too, but I mean, they thought it wasn't. They didn't like that, so that's why they changed that. So anyway, so the Pistons, Rockets, and the Magic all had a 14% chance of getting the number 1 pick, and the Detroit Pistons ended up being number 1, Houston number 2, Cavaliers number 3. They kind of jumped ahead. They moved up, and the Toronto Raptors number 4, Atlanta Magic number 5, and so on. So anyway, so the question here is, who should Detroit take number 1?
It's going to be two guards coming out of the draft. I see Cade Cunningham coming out here from great old Oklahoma State. So,
right.
I mean, it just makes more sense that Detroit has nobody, literally nobody, and it brings some excitement, some newer legs to the team. Of course, a great player. I think Cade Cunningham, once he gets his 3-pointer down pat, I think he's going to be a phenomenal player. So
who's the other guy?
See him, and then Jalen Suggs coming from Gonzaga.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be an extraordinary player. So if he pick up one of them, if they pick up one of them, they're going to be. I mean, they're going to, they're going to need some more players. But for the Rockets have John Wall, so they're going to start John Wall maybe at the 2. Or they can do Jalen Suggs at the 2 or Cade Cunningham at the 2. One of them.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see. I think the Rockets have a better chance to make something happen with one of these rookie picks versus Detroit. They have nobody. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Cade Cunningham. I think I saw a lot of. He's in the Big 12, so I saw a lot of his games. I'm a Red Raider, Texas Tech. So I saw a lot of those games that he played. And he was a freshman last year. And he was doing really well. He's 6'8". He actually shot 40% from 3 last year in the Big 12. And he helped them go from 18-14 to 21-9. And they were number 4 seed in the NCAA titles. He also won the gold medal in the 2019 FIBA World Cup. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, the guy, I think he's going to be a great player. I would say that Detroit should definitely pick him up. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. He can handle the ball. He's 6'8". He's not an elite passer, but he's a good passer. He struggles a little bit with his ball handling, but that's not a big deal. I think they can help him with that. But he's already a pretty good shooter. He's got great athleticism. He's a young guy, so it's not like he has to learn everything. He was only a freshman last year, so I think they should get him. I mean, Detroit's not ready anyway. They're not ready to go a championship. Get him, build around him, and that should be your main guy. And I think Houston, because you said I think they have John Wall, I think they should take Evan Mobley from USC, 6'11" center. They need a big man over there that can. And if you get John Wall and you get a big man, a guy like him, he's a modern-day NBA player. He's very mobile. He's good at the pick and roll. He's protected the rim last year with USC with 2.9 blocks a game. He finishes strong. He's 58% 2-point shooter, probably get a lot of dunks. He didn't shoot a lot of 3-pointers, but he still shot 30% in the ones he did shoot. So I mean, he can be one of those guys, kind of like Ayton, where he's an athletic big man who can be, but give you a little bit more outside shot. Ayton's got a mid-range a little bit in the paint, but
I can see that.
I think that Evan Mobley would be big for the Houston Rockets. I think that's the way they should go. Jalen Suggs, he'll be good, but I don't think he should go one or 2. I think he should go a little later in the draft. That's what I say. All right, LES FLO Sports Show. Here we go. It's time to talk NBA playoffs. All right. What do you think these playoffs, man? The Clippers and the Suns, 2-1. I think they play tonight. What are you thinking?
It has been. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's been a great playoff, man, and I'm thinking that tonight is going to be definitely tonight is going to be it's tonight, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to
they play tonight. It's 2-1 right now. 2-1.
It's definitely going to be one of those games that's going to be very crucial to see where the movement is going to be as far as, you know, the next step, man. I'm looking for Chris Paul and Devin Booker to go out here and play like they never played before. Devin Booker struggled, broke his nose. You know, he struggled last game. Chris Paul struggled terribly last game. But I also believe that they didn't have any. They didn't have the warm up and that chemistry together. They probably didn't practice that much. So I'm looking forward tonight. I got Suns taking it. I got the Clippers taking a big L. And and so yeah, that's
right.
my predicament tonight.
Okay. I told you about Beverly. I said Beverly can play defense. I told you.
That's not defense. He broke the dude's nose.
Oh man, he ran right into him. That was not. He did. I'm talking about all the other plays, not just the one play.
Patrick Beverly got y'all fooled.
No, he plays good defense. He got good defense. He's a good defensive player. Yeah. Well, even the game he didn't break his nose, he still slowed him down. He only had 20 points that game too. I'm telling you, he frustrates him. And I think the other guy I think is even better or could be better is Mann. Terrence Mann. He plays good defense too.
He could definitely be better.
They were I don't know, somebody on the Clippers. I don't know if it was the coach or one of the players said that he's as good as Kawhi on defense. He's like just a shade under Kawhi Leonard when it comes to defense. So, you know, they have a lot of confidence in the guy. I think, man, without Kawhi Leonard, it's going to be tough. But, man, these guys are all playing well. Paul George is making big shots when he needs to. Reggie Jackson's giving you over 20 points a game. Reggie Jackson's becoming the closer for that team at this point. If we can just get Marcus Morris to hit some shots, he's been in a shooting slump. If Marcus Morris starts hitting shots, they're in trouble. Terrence Mann, if he can continue to play defense and give you about 12 like he did last game. Luke Kennard actually got in the mix and hit 3 3-pointers finally. Ivan Zubac, he had 15 points and 16 rebounds. He played awesome that last game.
Yeah, he played pretty good.
So if he can give you something close to that, if he can give you about 12 points and at least 10 or 12 rebounds, and then Beverly even pitched in 8 points, so he even got into the offense. I don't know. I think these Clipper team are gamers. I mean, they're gamers. I'm gonna say that they pull this game out and they tie up the series, and they go back to Phoenix. It's tied up 2-2. I think they're gonna pull it out. Yeah, they're gamers. I'm telling you. Before when this whole series started without Kawhi, I was like, man, they're gonna lose. But Paul George, he's come up big. He struggled, even though he missed those 2 free throws in that first game and then ended up losing. Or was it the second game? I mean, he came back and he played well this last game. I mean, he didn't let it get in his head. And that's important. That's a big thing, you know, because a lot of times you miss those 2 free throws, you feel like you lost the game. He didn't let it affect him. He came back and played a good game. So I think Paul George has decided he's gonna will this team. I don't know if they're going to win this series, but they're going to win tomorrow for sure. I think or tonight. I mean, they're going to win and tie this game up. That's what I think. It's going to be a close game back and forth. Oh, man. I would even say it's going to come down to the wire and probably maybe a last-second shot by the Clippers to win that game. Paul George hits the game winner. Game winner in the three-pointer.
Can't hit free throws, let alone a game winner.
Oh, no, he's a good free throw. It was just those 2 free throws. Come on.
We'll see what happens.
All right. So then we got the next game. So that's you think that the Suns are going to win that series?
I think Suns going to take it in 6.
Suns in 6? Yeah, because the game 7 will be next Friday, so we won't be back until that series is over. So Suns in 6. I'm going to go Suns in 7. Suns in 7. I think it's going to go all the way down to the wire. I think it's going to go back and forth. Man, I'm thinking the Clippers might pull it out, but that's a big hill without Kawhi. But like I said, they're gamers. I think it's gonna come down to the last game. I think game 7, that game will probably go into overtime. I mean, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a crazy series. I think it's gonna come down Game 7, and I have a slight edge to the Suns on that one. All right. So the Hawks and the Bucks, they're tied 1-1. They play. I think, is it Sunday?
They play Sunday. Yep.
They play Sunday. All right. So what do you got? Who do you got on Game 3? It looks like on Sunday.
I'm gonna simplify my predicament. I'm just gonna say up front. I think it's gonna be the Hawks in 7. It's gonna be a very tough series for the Bucks, and I think it's gonna be a very tough series for the Hawks.
Okay.
And, but I'm taking the Hawks in 7.
Hawks in 7? Wow.
7.
Okay. Yeah, they got destroyed last night.
I mean, it happens to the best of us, man. But I mean, I'm not taking none away from them. I think they will recover. Trae Young destroyed them the first game, so hey, it happens. I mean, it wasn't a blowout, but for that man to have 45
this was a
points,
blowout. This was a blowout, man.
So hey, let's give him some respect.
It was like 40 points.
Yep. So
right now, the Hawks are a 4-point underdog right now, so they got him.
So,
but are you picking them in this game? Are you picking them in this game though? Or are you going with the Bucks?
Them in this game. I'm picking the Hawks at home.
Okay, the Hawks will pull this game out at home.
Yep. Pull out at home.
Okay. And so then you think the Bucks are going to take the next game in order to go 7 games? I mean, in order for it to go 7 games, they're going to have to win one.
I don't see the Bucks losing back to back like that against the Hawks. Not back to back. It's gonna keep going back and forth, man. But I'm definitely picking the Hawks
to win this game.
Win next. Yep.
This game on Sunday.
I'm definitely picking that.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good. I think the Hawks. They just ain't got enough help. They ain't got enough players, man.
They don't.
I mean, Trae Young has been playing well. Collins gives you some big games sometimes, but sometimes he only got 11 points last game. No one else. Porter, he had a 20-something point game the other day, and he only got 8 points last night. Capella only gave you 2 points. Reddish came off, and made a showing. The guy from Duke, I think he's a second-year player. He got 11 points last night. Yeah, so he had a decent game, but I just don't think they got enough firepower to keep up with the Bucks. Unless Chris Middleton goes into a shell. I mean, he only got 15 points, but as long as he's giving you about 20 points, Holiday's giving you about 20. What did I tell you about Brook Lopez? I'll tell you, Brook Lopez. He got 16 points last night.
Sometimes he's on and off. Sometimes he's on and off.
He's on and off. He's not going to give you 16 points every game, but I think I just think there's too. I think the Bucks are going to take this one. It's going to be a close one though. It's not going to be like last night where they blew them out, or the other night. And Sunday they're going to win this game, and they're going to take charges of the series. They may not win both games over there, but they're going to win this game, and they're going to go back to Milwaukee tied up because they'll probably lose this. I think they're going to lose game 4. They're going to go back to see. There'd be 3-2. I think the Bucks are going to close them out in 6.
Okay.
Bucks in 6. I think that's just too much. I mean, Trae Young's gonna play some good ball. He's gonna give it a little shimmy. Gonna give him a little shimmy before he throws the ball. I mean, he threw off the backboard. You ever seen that in a game?
Yeah, I've seen him in the NBA. He's pretty good.
I've never seen that in an NBA game. I've seen it in an All-Star game when they're just playing around, but I've never seen that in an actual game, throwing it off the backboard for an assist. So it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good series. Like you said, it's probably gonna go back and forth, but I think the Bucks take control of this series by winning this game, and then they may lose the next game, and then they win the next 2, one at home and one in Atlanta they finish them off in 6. That's what I think.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, LES FLO Sports Show. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Flo, and that's my bro Les. We're doing this sports show. We appreciate everyone. Appreciate all those that have joined us on Facebook. 81 people now, and anybody on YouTube. Like I said, we had some copyright issues over there, so I think that's why we was getting. I don't think it's called shadow ban, but they were like limited us because once you see those copyright things, they start like, yeah. So hopefully this time we don't get any copyright stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything you got to say? Or you need any final parting words?
Well, man, I'll like to say really quick, man. I really hope that Becky Harmon, I believe that's her name, the San Antonio coach, the one of the lady coaches, the female coaches. She's at San
Okay.
Antonio Spurs. I hope she gets an opportunity to coach. I think that'd be a great opportunity to see something different in the NBA. And also the Olympics. I'm excited, so
Okay.
I'm ready for the Olympics to be here. But
Okay.
thank you for everything. And let's continue
Maybe-
to make this thing happen, man.
Yeah. You want to talk a little Olympics next time?
We can. Maybe when they start, we'll start talking about it.
Okay. All right. That'll be good. Let's Flow Sports Show. Thanks for everyone tuning in. Everyone on the repeat. We appreciate you. That's it. We'll come back next time, see if our predictions are right about the NBA playoffs. We'll see what happens because it'll be.
We will, man.
We'll find out next week. Hey, thanks for coming, Les. I appreciate you. Take care. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you next time, brother.
All right. God bless, man. Love you. Take care.
God bless. God bless.